Hey guys, Blix is back. So what I got for you today, I'm not doing a review or anything. Matter of fact, I'm doing this to kind of aim towards anybody that's trying to get some kind of vaping information. I've been hearing too much negative crap going on about the vaping industry and whatnot. And out of all honesty, it gets depressing. Matter of fact, I even took my hat off for this review. Well, not review, but some of the things I've been hearing is very upsetting. So we're going to start off with some of the vaping things that have been completely debunked, like electronic cigarettes containing antifreeze. Okay, guys, listen. While propylene glycol is sometimes used in like antifreeze, it's just an additive to it. It's propylene glycol in itself is not antifreeze. Matter of fact, propylene glycol is actually used as an additive in just about, like, I'd say 70% of the stuff that we use on a daily basis. I mean, propylene glycol in itself, I've actually just read a study where they think that it's actually improving the health of vapors, mainly because it's kind of acting almost as a natural antibiotic type thing. So, I mean, as far as the antifreeze thing, if you ever hear somebody saying that, now you know. Alright? Also, the whole fact that nicotine causes cancer. Okay, nicotine alone is about as dangerous to your body as regular caffeine. Okay? The problem with nicotine in itself, the reason why they say it contains or causes cancer, is because they tested it while in tobacco products. And I'm sorry, anything that is combustible and in being inhaled can cause cancer. It will damage the cells in your lungs beyond repair sometimes. And, that will cause, cancer growth. Alright? Them saying that vaping is just as deadly as a tobacco cigarette. Yeah, I paused there for a second because, really. Them saying that vaping is just as deadly as the tobacco cigarette, or worse for you than a tobacco cigarette, is mainly Big Pharma and Big Tobacco trying to discredit vaping just to try to get people to come back to their products. Because the way it works is Big Tobacco poisons you, Big Pharma fixes you. And what I don't understand is with Big Pharma, their way to treat you, like with cancer, is to pump you full of poison to get rid of poison. I mean, there has been plenty of studies showing that, like hemp oils and stuff like that completely cure cancer. So why are we not funding this? States like Colorado had it right. Medicinal or recreational. I mean, the medicinal properties of the hemp plant in general is just outstanding. Not to mention it can make clothes, which, well, let's face it, it'd probably feel like a burlap sack. But it can be used to create paper. So we can stop with deforestation. I mean, but this is a rant about hemp. It's the whole vaping thing. Delicious. Okay, another one. Secondhand vapor is a threat to bystanders. No. Not even little. Matter of fact, our main vape shop, Cloud9 Vapors, is actually located in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. We have a college right above us, Bucknell. They have actually physically proven by, like, they use different nicotine strengths, different vapors. They have actually proven that secondhand vapor is no more harmful to you than breathing normal air. So that's always a good thing. Matter of fact, there's plenty of researchers that have proven this. I mean, I just saw a video not too long ago where they took, like, this filtered system. They took vapor product, puffed it for what was it? It was 10 minutes of something. I don't know. But they had a thing that automatically puffed it every now and then they checked the filter. The one from the vapor product was completely clean. They did it with a cigarette. One cigarette. Did it, and that whole disc was almost like... I wish I had something around here that I can show you what color it was. Actually, right here. See this brown right here, the darker one? That's what that filter looked like after one cigarette being run through this filter. Now, which one of those would you rather put into your lungs? I know me, it wouldn't be a cigarette. Alright. I have heard so many cases of how, like, vaping has completely changed people's lives. One, it is anywhere from 40 to 70% cheaper than smoking. It's a lot better for you. And the way I look at it is, you can't really tell what the benefits are until you try it. Give it 2 weeks, vaping. And don't use the ones from Big Tobacco, because it's already been proven that, like, the Mark 10 one by Marlboro is basically liquefied cigarette in a vaping product. Disgusting. That's why it tastes like an ashtray. Go to a vape shop and have them hook you up with something. Like, even if it's a small starter kit. I mean, it may not be able to get you off the tobacco products right away, but at least you could tell just by cutting down off the cigarettes how much better you feel. I mean, I was a 2-pack-a-day smoker. I switched over to vaping, and I've never felt better in my life. I mean, granted, yeah, I've packed on some pounds, but then again, whenever you're hungry, you'll go smoke that cigarette. It'll kill your appetite. I wonder why, because of all the chemicals that are in it. A lot of it will stop you from being hungry. So, I mean, I don't even know what else I want to rant about this with. Just trust me, people. Vaping is a lifesaver. I've had multiple customers come in here, buy their first vape product. You know, we hooked them up and everything, and they haven't touched a cigarette since. And sometimes it takes a little bit willpower, but not nearly as much as, say, Chantix, the nicotine patch, Nicorette gum. I've heard plenty of stories where the Chantix caused suicidal thoughts in people. There's a whole slew of side effects from it. And nicotine patches just don't work because you're not getting that oral fixation with it, and that's what makes you want to have a cigarette too. I've actually heard of cases where those patches were actually eating through people's arms. Nicorette gum just tastes like ass. It tastes like you're chewing an ashtray, and who the hell wants that? Not this guy. Also, like, I will honestly say, and yeah, this may be me repeating myself, this bottle right here, this is nicotine, okay? And, like, we'll use the nicotine because, you know, we make our own juices right over here in our clean room, and, people always say to me, they're like, well, isn't nicotine toxic? Well, yeah, in mass doses, and if it's actually just straight nicotine, it can be. But that's the same way with caffeine. I mean, if you've ever seen straight caffeine somewhere, you see all the warning labels on that barrel. But just the fact that vaping has been proven, and it like they said, it was like 99. I saw a study, it said 97. The final verdict was it's 95% better for you than smoking. And the reason why they go with the 95 is because of the nicotine which is no more dangerous for you than caffeine to begin with, and some of the flavorings we don't know about. Like, recently there was that big diacetyl scare saying, oh, it's going to lead to popcorn lung. And I know I've done this in a vlog before, but for those of you who haven't actually seen any of this, diacetyl being linked to popcorn lung. Alright, so in the 1970s, where they had these massive popcorn factories, they were using powdered diacetyl for the buttering flavor. People were working around this stuff 8 to 12 hours a day, and it's powdered, and they're not using any form of respirator or anything. There was 4 cases known nationwide of popcorn lung actually happening. And it was back there in the popcorn factories where they're inhaling that powdered diacetyl all day long. And they still have not actually linked it to it was that. But people don't understand is a cigarette contains 300 times more diacetyl than you could ever fit in even the smallest of e-liquid bottles. I have vaped plenty of juices that were said to have trace amounts of diacetyl. I've never had any adverse side effects. Matter of fact, I will honestly tell you in my personal thing, I'm asthmatic. Alright? Since I switched over to vaping, I've had no problem with asthma. I know people who, have had COPD. They switched over to vaping, and they're fine now. They caught it right before they had to hit the oxygen. I mean, people don't realize how much better for you vaping is. And I'm not saying to those of you that don't smoke, go out and pick up a vape. If you don't smoke, don't bother with vapor. I mean, it's one of those catch-22s. I mean, granted, yeah, it's fun. There's tasty juices. You could do tricks and everything. But just get in zero nicotine. At least then you're not getting, any dangerous chemicals from it. I mean, I actually saw a post also that had, like, a list of chemicals found in tobacco. And then right down here at the very bottom was the list of stuff that's found in e-liquid. 4 chemicals. 4. Vegetable glycerin, propylene glycol, natural and artificial flavoring, and nicotine. So, to those of you that's thinking about vaping, get a starter kit. And then work your way up. I mean, don't go right for, like, the high-end stuff. I know too many people who went right for the high-end stuff and it was too much for them. And they got deterred away from vaping. Whenever you're looking at vape liquids, use this in mind. Here in this vape shop, we have seen the most success when we ask a customer how much they smoke a day. If they say a pack, okay, with the small starter kits, similar to, say, something like this, that has the small tank on it, it's the tube battery, it's just basically made for mouth-to-lung vaping. 12 milligram nicotine for a pack-a-day smoker. And, of course, work your way down from there, half a pack, 6. Don't go out and just go right for the highest nicotine levels. Back in 2009 when I first started, I started off at 24. Which, for a 2-pack-a-day smoker, it would seem about right. But even that was too strong. I actually found myself, I went from 24 to 18 to 12 within like a month's time. And at that 12, granted, yeah, I was vaping a lot more. But it was a comfortable vape for mouth to lung at the time. I'm down to a 3, and out of all honesty, there has been days that I've done 0 and never even thought about, nicotine whatsoever. I mean, I could probably go completely off of it, but nah. I mean, we all have to have our dangers, or our fixes. And you know what? I don't drink. I don't smoke anymore. So, I vape. So I decided to just stick with the 3. I mean, it's a low dose. Matter of fact, one of my friends, Jesse, he actually picked up vaping to quit. I mean, he has a kid and everything, you know, and, you know, he doesn't want that to be around his kid and everything, and, like, he knows that, you know, smoking was bad for you and everything. I have seen him go from, I believe he started off as 6. He is on a 0. And now occasionally he'll pick up his vape whenever he's in, like, a social gathering. Just a vape. For the flavor. It's like a social thing now. So, I mean, and Jesse, I know as soon as you see this video, you know you're probably going to post something in the comments because I called you out on this. But, you know what? That's one thing I do praise about you, man. You actually kicked the habit. I mean, I could probably do it. I just don't want to. So whenever you hear all this negative BS about vaping, it's BS. Because there's been enough studies done on it now. It's just, the problem is it's being tucked so far away that, I mean, big tobacco's got money. Big pharma's got money. And what rules the world? Money. So, I mean, the vape industry has come a long way. I know actually quite a few reviewers even that started around the same time that I did vaping, around 2009, and haven't touched a cigarette. I mean, granted, yes, I have had my, you know, my times where I have had a cigarette, but you know what? That was the worst tasting thing ever, and it doesn't even appeal to me anymore. I mean, if like my vape's dead or something like that, and I forgot to bring extra batteries or something, will I bum a smoke off of somebody? Probably. Just because it's more or less like a social thing for me. But I don't smoke like I used to. I might have one cigarette like every 3 to 6 months. And that one cigarette, I mean, I'm sure it's not going to kill me. And if it does, well, fuck me. I'm sure there's other things that's going to end up killing me long before fucking tobacco does anymore. Because vaping just completely changed my life. So, that's what I got for you today, guys. And you know what? Just remember, if you don't know information, by all means, if you watch my videos, you know, go to my Facebook page, Facebook message me, email me, and I'll give you the information that you need. Just because, you know, granted this is a hobby for me, but one of the main reasons why I started working in a vape shop is because I know this is a life-saving product. And you know what? If people are ready to quit smoking, I'm here for them. So, well, guys, that's what I got for you today. And as always, vape on.